Happy Sunday afternoon, everyone. I pray everyone is having a blessed day. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is another installment of the Southern Baller Show. And speaking of LDBC, if you're an LDBC member and haven't got your LDBC meet and greet tickets, please go to 78. You can go to one of his videos and get the information in the comment section. Please don't procrastinate. It's literally this coming up week. Coach, isn't it starting like on the 8th? No, excuse me, the 9th. And all throughout the weekend. So y'all show that if you are LDBC member, please don't procrastinate. And if you want to come, I know some of the brothers can't make it. Please get your tickets in. And see if you come down to Atlanta, man. Show everybody some love. Go ahead, Coach.
First and foremost, good evening to you, bro. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, family. Hopefully, all is well with y'all. Salute to each and every one of y'all. We appreciate everybody dropping by, dropping in, whether you catching it live or you catching the playback, coming through to show some love. Especially, we've been appreciate everybody. Really appreciate everybody's been rocking with us since day one. Peace and blessings to everyone, and we just looking forward to having an excellent show today, Get it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. JB had obligations to do, so he can't. He probably gonna try to make it later on, but if he can't, it's all good. But the show must go on. And any other brothers, you know who you are, Jake, Jay Good, Joe, Big Joe, Brent Fox. If you want to jump on, you're more than welcome. But I know how it is. He's a working man, so I hang with working brothers, man. So they got obligations to their family, so they probably can't make more. Sometimes they can't make every show. So I definitely understand. Definitely understand. But we're gonna go ahead and start what we're going to talk about. So those who are into boxing, there was the Terrence Crawford versus Mama Dolph. If I pronounce his name right, I'll be butchering his name. Was yesterday, and it was a decent card. One of the fights that was on the main card was
Undercard.
Jared Big Baby and undercard was Jared Big Baby Anderson versus Martin Bacol, a Sudanese brother, but he's based out of Scotland. He basically TKO'd Jared Anderson. And those who in the LDBC and follow shows like Supreme Beat Boxing with Cadillac Red and KG, you had brothers on the pounding you like KG telling you that this was going to happen. Now, I did say myself that I knew Jared Anderson was going to get hurt bad. I thought he was going to get, probably had to get off the canvas to win that fight and outbox Jared Bacol. Man, Jared kept on like pulling back with his chin straight in the air. And Martin kept on catching him, man. So he eventually stopped Jared Anderson within 5 rounds, and it was because I thought it was going to go way. I thought it was going to make it to probably the 8th and 9th round. It did, man. Martin Bacol is shout out to Martin Bacol. He definitely is a a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. Can he beat AJ? Can he beat Fury? I don't know. Can he beat Usyk? I don't know, um, but he ain't no joke. Uh, welcome to the panel, JB.
What's good with you, JB?
What's up, man? I'm on my way to the house now, man. Riding
All
around
right,
getting some
bro.
errands done.
All
But
right,
yeah,
bet.
man,
All
that
right.
I was one of the ones, me and you, Jared, we talked about it before the fight. I thought Anderson was gonna put work in, but you was the one that said, I don't know. You said you had a funny feeling about this fight for Anderson. You said Bacoli, you know, is a heavy-handed and slick fighter, but his hands is quicker than you think it is, especially on the inside. And Anderson found that out the hard way.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And thank you for your feedback. Um, Coach, what was your opinion on the fight? Jarrett was stopped on in round five. By the way, go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, of course. You know my take on boxing. Things in the sport of boxing. It's not like it was in the old days from the perspective of when I watched boxing in the late '80s, all throughout the '90s, the 2000s. The best fighters wanted to fight the best fighters for the most part. It wasn't about clout chasing, and it wasn't about you know being the most popular person on social media. Of course, there wasn't on social media back in those days. Of course, at one point, uh, you had a little social media, but nothing to the degree that it is now. So for the most part, if it's not a fight that I absolutely willing to put my money on the line to see, I'm not interested in most of the fights, but I did watch the playback of it in terms of not the entire fight, but just the knockout itself. From what people was talking about the fight, and it just kind of prompted me to look at Martin McCauley's box record. And he has a pretty good record. The only loss he has is to Michael the Bounty Hunter. So he lost to Michael Hunter. That's about it. So he has a pretty good record. And the clips I saw leading him to the fight, like he can fight. And I wasn't shocked. Of course, it was a little bit of upset, in my opinion, but I wasn't shocked when he stopped Jeremy David Anderson. And truthfully speaking, when it comes to baby, he's shown some mental weakness. Of course, the whole clip with him and Roy Jones Jr., one of my favorite fighters from the year, during that time, it kind of let me know that Jared Big Baby Anderson has a chink in his armor. And, sometimes, I'm going to give you an example, right? Just to kind of make a comparison to him and another fighter. I remember years ago when I used to watch HBO World Championship Boxing, you know, Vladimir Klitschko, HBO was really pushing the Eastern European fighters, the same way, a lot of boxing try to push people like Loma and Ball and Beterbiev and those type of fighters, Sergey Crusher Kovalev, whatever the case may be. And at one point, you know, Vitaly and Vladimir both, I think they might have had a loss or whatever. But in my eyes, Vitaly seemed like he was more, even though he was the bigger brother and a taller brother, to me, he seemed like he was more rock solid. Whereas Vladimir, he seemed perfect from the standpoint. He was just too perfect. I'm like, he has no real glaring weakness, no glaring flaw in his game. Something is wrong with him. Now, I couldn't quite put my finger on. And then when we come to the realization that he had a glass chin, then we realize, hey, all right, now we understand that, you know, if you just looked at it from a surface level perspective, you saw like, hey, this is like the perfect fighter. Seems like there are no weaknesses in his game. But once you really looked at it, you just look beyond the surface. and he really got exposed eventually. And then of course it came the realization that his last chin, and that was like the major flaw and major weakness in his game. I mean, of course as a fighter you want weakness, but you don't want a glaring flaw like having a glass chin. So at the end of the day, Big Baby, his lack of heart perspective of the whole dialogue back and forth with him and Roy Jones, from my perspective, that was a glaring flaw. And some people was like, well, they really felt like it didn't come into play. He just lost to a better fighter or a fighter that had a favorable matchup against him. But either way, uh, uh, I think it's a bad look for him. But the one good thing about him, he's a young enough fighter where he can recover. You know, that, that's one thing I hate. But not the pretty boy Floyd version of Buffalo to his career, Money Mayweather. He was just so concerned about keeping his old. I think this generation of fighters at that same perspective. They rather go on a bump ass and never really fight a real true like contender. They don't want to fight the best fighters. They rather just keep their old as opposed to, you know, fighting a better fighter and maybe having a loss early on in their career and then eventually bouncing back and rebounding. And yesterday, that's what it was. If you were a fighter that took a loss early enough in your career, you can recover and you might be better for it down the road. Whereas these fighters nowadays, they're not willing to take a loss. That's why they not fight the best possible competition. So at the end of the day, I think he can recover from it. But like you said, Chad, like hey, it's the curse of messing with our champion, Brown Bomber Deontay Wilder. And you talking out the side of your neck about champions. So that. So it kind of is what it is. Back to you, Jerry. All right, looks like Jared is having some technical difficulty. JB, you had any other thoughts about the Big Baby Anderson Mark McCauley fight?
Nah, man, it's basically Jared. Um, he pointed it out, man. He called it. Even though at the end I was trying to coerce him and change his answer because I really thought Anderson had it, was gonna watch this dude, but hey, some of the brothers in the LDBC and my brother was right.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy how that whole scenario played out because I was watching Junior the Truth and basically he was saying that uh why everybody hating on Big Baby and y'all think this dude gonna upset him and guess what? Everybody else that was picking Mark McCauley, they were right. So a lot of people saw something that other individuals didn't. And of course, Junior the Truth, he gonna defend Big Baby Anderson because they're both from Ohio. So
True that. I mean, that's what he's supposed to do, man.
yeah, yeah. I
But
mean, of course you're gonna ride with your guy, because people say the same thing about me with Regis Prograde. Like, man, you riding with Regis? Now when it come to Devin Haney, I didn't want those two to fight because they're two of my favorite fighters. But outside of the whole scenario with Devin Haney and Regis Prograde, I hate to say, Regis. No, not hate to say it. I stand on business with it. He's from Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana, so I'm gonna support him, of course. Some of the situation with the scumbag piece of trash Ryan Garcia. I didn't like him throwing a little support Ryan Garcia away, but he from the state of Louisiana, so I'm riding with him.
Yeah, can y'all
right,
hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
All right. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. But thank y'all for carrying on with the conversation. And salute the brother Joe Town. He said salute to the family. Appreciate you, man. Always supporting. Yeah, but definitely that I wasn't. I can't really say I was surprised. I wouldn't even really call it an upset because sorry to say, now I'm not really a Jarrell Miller fan, and we're gonna get to him.
Yeah, me
Uh,
neither.
but he was correct. He was accurate. He told Jared Anderson to his face that you don't get beat by Bacoli because you haven't faced a fighter like Bacoli. And Bacoli is a big dude, so it seemed like the punches Jared Anderson threw, like he threw a lot of good counter punches. Uh, um, it wasn't affecting Bacoli at all, and Bacoli just kept on coming forward. And a lot of Scott fans was calling Bacoli their version of George Foreman. I wouldn't go that far, but
Nah, but
yeah,
he is a big boy though. You know, I'm not
but
gonna lie
he
on him.
definitely a big boy. Definitely a big boy. But Jared Anderson, man, even though he was talking crazy about my boy Wilder, just dust yourself off. You know, unlike some uh American boxing fans, man, I'm not gonna kick you while you down, brother. Just go back to the woodshed and figure out what went wrong. Matter of fact, he said it in the post fight interview in the ring what he did wrong. His team told him stop pulling back with his head up, his chin in the air, and he kept doing it. And Bacoli called him multiple times.
I ain't gonna lie. I could get behind him if he quit cutting jigs and quit buck dancing. But if he keep up the nonsense, I can't rock with him. But if he quit cutting them jigs, I could rock with him.
I hear you, man. I hear you, and I agree. Uh, but we're gonna move on. Did anybody catch the Venezuela versus Cruz fight? So if you didn't, um, El Royal Venezuela outboxes Pitbull Cruz. So Pitbull tried to make it out to like he was basically cheated or the judges robbed him, but it really wasn't the case. Uh, Venezuela did a great job catching him multiple times with an uppercut, catching him Pitbull Cruz coming in, and to me Pitbull Cruz just got outboxed bad, man. He started later in the round. He did start catching Valenzuela, but Valenzuela stayed sharp um, and had great defense. Coach, did you catch this fight? Coach, can you hear me?
No, can you hear me now, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, of course, I didn't. Like I said earlier, most of these fights, I pretty much sort of like highlights of it or whatever. But for those individuals like myself that saw the Spence Crawford fight, this fight was on the undercard. Not this fight. I'm talking about when Pitbull Cruz fought on the undercard. Card. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was not moved by Pitbull Cruz. On that Crawford Spence undercard, and I felt like if he fought, a taller fighter that actually know how to use the jab, I thought he would get beat easily. And it showed last night. I mean, everybody talking about, like baby Mike Tyson. He's not a baby Mike Tyson. He might be a baby Mike Tyson from the perspective of he's short for the weight class of the division that he's in. But he's not a baby Mike Tyson from the standpoint of the amount of pop and punching power that he has. Of course, from stylistically, the pickable style in terms of, the high guard and slipping punches and, trying to work his way inside. He has a Mike Tyson type style from that perspective. But in terms of punching power, he's not Tyson by no stretch of the imagination.
Right, because
End of the
and
day,
it's funny you said that because Mike Tyson had a jab.
yeah, no,
Um,
Mike Tyson knew how to jab his way inside, work his way inside,
exactly,
and
exactly.
once
He
he
didn't
got
do none of
inside,
that.
he knew how to throw. He knew how to throw hooks to the body, hooks to the head, and set you up for the overhand right, catch you with an uppercut. Tyson had more tools in his toolbox than Eastside Pitbull Cruz have in his toolbox. And I'm gonna just be truthful. I don't care what nobody say. Uh, Tank Davis was setting this whole scenario up to fight his rematch with Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz lost, and basically, I think he gonna go after Ryu now. But at the end of the day, I'm unapologetic in my stance about Tank Davis. Tank Davis is not interested in challenging himself and fighting elite level fighters. I honestly believe he legitimately tried to fight Loma, and Loma didn't want to get knocked out, so Loma didn't want no smoke. So I believe that's a legit thing, but I have zero confidence in Tank Davis actually fighting Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. I think he could potentially fight Ryu or fight some other type of fighter, C-level caliber fighter. But I don't think Tank Davis is interested in fighting the best possible competition. And I'm not surprised that Pitbull Cruz lost last night.
Yeah, yeah, I have to agree. JB, what was your thoughts on the fight last night against
I
Valenzuela versus Pitbull Cruz?
I kind of knew it. Um, if you think about it, Pitbull Cruz last couple of fights, man, it's been to who Rolly and somebody else. I forgot the name, but um, Jose Rayo uh, fought Chris Colbert, and even though Chris Colbert is a coon and buffoon, uh, he's a hard has a hard style to beat. And I knew that Pitbull Cruz would have to do more than just have his guard up and walk forward and try to knock Rayo out. Because Rayo know how to box, man, and he has power. And I noticed every time that Rayo went to the body, them hands came down a little bit, and Rayo started hitting him with uppercuts, coming in and going around the guard. And I thought, oh, okay. And he started using his height, and he started to step around Cruz. I thought, okay, this is an easy night for Rayo. This is gonna be an easy night for him. So, congratulations to Rayo, man.
I agree. I definitely agree, man. And Isaac Cruz, it seemed like he was starting to come on later in rounds, but Jose Valenzuela, he stayed sharp, man, and kept catching them with punches coming in. So Cruz starts gets kept getting, especially get kept getting caught with that uppercut coming in. So it was definitely um, a good showing of Arroyo Valenzuela, man. Um, Mr. Shelton said Brock Purdy can be Isaac Cruz. That's that's funny. Um,
Man, Shelton, if you don't get your ass out of here, bro.
yeah, um, but if you were the taller fighter, right? All jokes aside, right? And you know how to box, you can easily beat Pitbull Cruz. Just don't get caught, um, like Jared Anderson did with Bacoli, going back with your chin in the air. Because Isaac Cruz gonna throw something, he's gonna catch you every time. What up,
Man,
86 Gold?
Rayo, what's up, 86? Rayo just basically verified why people don't like fighting Shakur, Devin Haney, and the pure boxers in the sport because you just can't walk them down and hit them in one shot and knock them out. Unless you on that shit like Ryan.
Right, right. And salute J Bar, man. Appreciate you always saluting saluting everyone and showing support. I appreciate you.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I felt like Pitbull Cruz was his claim to fame was fighting Tank Davis and not getting knocked out. I really think that was the thing that was kind of carrying him uh, up until last night. And last night he just got exposed, in my opinion.
Period. Period. Is kind of like y'all remember Robert the Ghost Guerrero?
Yep.
His claim to fame was just not getting knocked out and having hard and doing flurries at the end of the round and shit like that. But Mr. Shelton, but I'm only 23. Yeah, Big Baby said that. Somebody said in the LDPC that somebody called it. I can't remember whose show I was watching that they
It was
didn't
Tay
want
Jones.
Big Baby.
Tay
Big Baby.
Jones. Tay Jones called, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you reminded me
Go
of
ahead.
something. Tay Jones and Mr. Shelton and Joseph Townsend and Coach can back me on this, and Ill Will if he listening. Um, Tay Jones, on one of his shows, said that he a boxer himself, so he got the inside scoop. He said a lot of them dudes knew what's up. He was like, man, Jared Anderson is skilled, but he's not that dude yet. And he also said that about Frank Sanchez. He said Frank Sanchez is not that dude.
Yeah, but somebody specifically said that if he lose, he was going to use the fact that he was just only 23, 24. I don't know if Will said it or Drew Titan or I don't remember, but somebody in the LDBC said that. And that's exactly what he said when he got his ass whooped. I'm only
And
23.
and the thing about it is the only 23 thing to me, it still kind of ties into that whole conversation with Roy Jones Jr. where he just kind of melting down, talking about he's too young and blah 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 blah, and I can't handle all this pressure. And he was like, man, you built for this, and da-da-da. I ain't gonna lie, Roy Jones Jr. Of course, I was a huge fan of his when he fought. Not so much once he retired and he became a broadcaster on HBO, commentator, because to me, I felt like he was too much of a company man. But I felt like he did a good job in terms of trying to talk Big Baby up, but it just kind of showed where Big Baby just lacked testicular fortitude and heart, in my opinion. That whole, and I'm only 23 and I can't handle all this pressure. To me, it kind of showed a little bit of mental weakness about him. And back to the analogy you made with Robert Guerrero and Isaac Cruz, I know y'all might be a little young for this analogy, but to me, it kind of reminds me of Donovan Razor Ruddock, where Razor Ruddock, his claim to fame was, when Mike Tyson was just knocking out everybody. He fought Tyson hard and he hung there with Tyson. So, he got a lot of props for, not just getting smashed like everybody else. And then they ran it back and Tyson stopped him. And then, of course, I was just claiming the fan. They was like, man, it wouldn't be for Tyson. Razor Ruddock might be, the next heavyweight champion. And then, of course, he ended up fighting, somebody like a Lennox Lewis, and Lennox Lewis ended up knocking him out. But that was the only amateur loss in the Lennox Lewis had was to Donald Razor Ruddock. So at the end of the day, I think Razor Ruddock is kind of like I think Isaac Cruz is like a Donovan Razor Ruddock. Hey, your claim to fame was you survived against Tank Davis, who broke his hand during the course of the fight. You didn't get knocked out, so people think you a better fighter than what you really are. I think if Tank wouldn't have broke his hand trying to use those same gloves Canelo used, I think he would have knocked out Isaac Cruz at some point. But I think at the end, once he broke his hand, he just was trying to, make it through the 12 rounds more than anything.
I agree, man. I agree. Mr. Shell said he too busy. He too busy running from the police and thugging. Yeah. Um. But is there before I move on, is there any more feedback on this fight, fellas?
No,
No,
sir.
not for me, bro.
All right, all right. Yeah, we had to get to this news fest. Um, Also on the card last night, Jarrell Miller faced Andy Ruiz, who had a 2 year layoff. Haven't been in the ring in 2 years, and Lord, it showed. Because Jarrell Miller, if he was, the only thing I give Jarrell Miller props on is he was moving forward, but he wasn't really doing anything with it. He hurt Andy Ruiz a couple of times to the body, but he had to fight to win, bro. But he didn't really capitalize on throwing punches when he needed to. Because Andy Ruiz, he's known for, even though he doesn't look like a heavyweight, he look like the plumber, but he got hands, right? He's a good fighter with fast hands, but on the later rounds, man, he started to get pushed back with that 300-pound Jarrell Miller, and the fight started to be boring as hell because all Jarrell Miller was doing was pushing Andy Ruiz back. Ruiz was trying to fight on the back foot, but he got caught Jarrell Miller with a couple of punches, but it was starting to be a boring fight toward the end, man. What was your JB? I'm gonna go to you first. What was your opinion on this fight, man? It was a draw, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. This fight was a draw.
Okay, first let me say I thought Jarrell Miller won. However, I don't give a damn that he didn't win. I don't particularly like Jarrell Miller. I think he's a lazy piece of shit. I think also Andy Ruiz is lazy as well. I think he Andy Ruiz had the whole world in his palms, being the first Mexican heavyweight to win a title. Yeah, and he let food ruin that. He let his gluttony ruin that. I don't care what nobody said. I think he got lucky anyway. I think something. If you watch Drew Titan, and Stormy B Man and the rest of the brothers, on their show every Sunday after this show around 7, you know that something wasn't right about Joshua that night. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm just gonna leave it there. He beat Joshua. That happened. But after that, he didn't take advantage of it. And in actuality, that was supposed to be Jarrell Miller fight. But he got caught using steroids. And if you guys don't know me, I don't care about people who use steroids. So I don't mess with Jarrell Miller like that. I don't care what he does. And I wasn't an Anthony Joshua fan. I was rooting for Jarrell Miller. So, yeah, and like you said, just to end my rant, I gave Andy Ruiz the first couple of rounds, maybe 5, and then the rest of the rounds you could see from 6 to 12, you can see Andy Ruiz just fading away, and Jarrell Miller getting stronger, but he didn't take advantage of it.
Exactly.
I I was watching Champ Side last night. Champ Side was getting frustrated like we was, like me and you was, Jared. He was throwing his hands. Andy Ruiz was there for him to be for him to stop him. He was there. I mean, he had the aggressiveness was good. Him cutting off the ring, he didn't let his hands go, and
Yeah,
that's because uh, Jarrell Miller doesn't have that second gear or third gear. He
no.
goes into neutral, and that's it. So
Yeah, exactly. That's very good description. And Joe, Big Joe said, "Why do I feel this way?" AJ, yeah, that's what he said.
yep. But hey, Joe, ain't nobody giving shit when Wado was saying that he didn't feel right with in the second
Right.
Tyson Fury
Exactly.
fight. So I don't
Yeah,
I don't care.
yeah. That's why Joe put that. Yep. Yep. Coach, did you get a load of this fight last
Yeah,
night?
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't see all of it. I saw most of it, and I mean, I was up late last night on YouTube. Didn't have a even though I knew I had a busy morning ahead of me, which I did. I couldn't go to sleep, so I was watching this fight. Like you said, bro, I'm not gonna lie. It was a thoroughly unimpressive fight, but from what I saw of the fight, I thought Big Dummy Miller won. But they scored it a draw, which to me, yeah, I disagree with. But I'm not a fan of Jarrell Miller either. So, this is not a heel for me to, go to bat for Jarrell Miller. If this was like Wilder, Haney, Spence, I'll be up in arms about it. But this Jarrell Miller, so I hate to say it, I'm not gonna see who cares. Somebody definitely cares, but to me, it just shows how in the sport of boxing, how oftentimes judges get decisions wrong. I mean, it's not as bad as the O'Shaquie Foster situation, but I felt like Jarrell Miller won. He got a draw, so more than likely they're gonna run it back. Who knows? But at the end of the day, uh, it's sad what Andy Ruiz situation has come down to. I mean, just imagine at one point Ruiz and Wilder could have fought for undisputed, and and Eddie Hearn just set that boy up with all of that food, and he just ate so much. I know JB was saying that hey, he felt like something was wrong with AJ in that first fight. Cool, and Eddie Hearn intentionally sabotaged Andy Ruiz, who couldn't control, his ability to not eat, and he just ate so much food in that rematch that Ruiz really couldn't do nothing in that rematch against Joshua. I remember Black Fight Fan was talking about all the food that Andy Ruiz ate prior to the fight and how he was passing gas constantly during the course of the fight. He was saying how you know, it's an Arab country, and of course, they're not supposed to eat pork or whatever the case may be, and they had like pepperoni pizzas and sausage pizzas and all of that, where you shouldn't have pork at all. And Andy Ruiz just ate so much food leading up to the rematch. So, truthfully speaking, had they run it back a third time, and wouldn't lack so much impulse control and lack so much discipline. Who knows? Andy Ruiz might have beat AJ again, but we'll never really know because Eddie Hearn wasn't going to risk his golden goose getting potentially knocked out again. So at the end of the day, looking at Andy Ruiz, it's a big what if. And like JB was saying, Jarrell Miller was supposed to fight AJ that night. If he wouldn't have been juiced to the gills, who knows? He might have beat Anthony Joshua that same night too. And the crazy thing about it is the reason why I can't be too hard on Jarrell Miller was because he tested positive and they literally try to ban him from the sport. Whereas Ryan Garcia, tested positive, and nobody cares. They act like he wastes a glass of juice or something. So at the end of the day, like, you know, Jarrell Miller, uh, Jarrell Miller, Ryan Garcia situation, it highlights the ridiculous double standard in boxing. But I felt like Jarrell Miller won last night.
Yeah, I felt that way too. But he had plenty of opportunity to sway the judges from that draw decision. He didn't take it, and he's also one of the you can call us Wilder fanboys and everything all you want. Um, Wilder it was the I felt the American heavyweight people should have got behind because he literally like a lot of these folks say get it out in the mud. He literally got his start in boxing out the mud and became champion. But people don't like him.
They don't like him, bro, because he's unapologetically black. And the thing about it is, you know, if you Hispanic and you like a Hispanic fighter, you know, if if someone is, how I'm gonna phrase this properly,
Say it.
if you pro black, you know, being pro black, I guess is like being anti white. However, when it comes to any other ethnic group, any other race of people, there's no problem with them supporting their own people. So that's the reason why they really didn't like Wilder. Let's be real. With everything we know about Wilder, where he's from, in the whole nine, if Wilder was white, Wilder would be probably one of the most beloved fighters in the sport of boxing.
That's true.
No two
And his
ways
fighting style
about
at all. Because
it.
coach,
Everything.
they try to use like, he don't know how to box, man. He don't know how to fight. Well, I mean, you gotta win a bronze medal. You gotta know something about fighting, right? Last time I
Bro,
checked.
bro,
And look at Isaac Pitbull Cruz, just swinging from the fences.
bro, we know that's ridiculous because guess what?
But his
Andre
people is behind him.
Andre Ward was an excellent fighter, a Christian man. They didn't like him. Floyd
Mhm.
Mayweather Jr. was arrogant, a phenomenal boxer. They didn't like him. Deontay Wilder is the antithesis of both Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather Jr. from a perspective of boxing, and they don't like him either. So what's the common denominator between these three fighters? So you got to make it make sense. So you complain about Floyd and Andre Ward, how they boring, blah 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 blah. You complain about Deontay Wilder knocking everybody out, but he's unskilled. Come on, you got to pick your battles, and I mean, to me at that point, you just might as well acknowledge, hey, you a racist piece of trash, and you just don't want to admit it. Because guess what? Some of these same people, you know, were saying, hey, they like Sergey Crusher Kovalev because he knocks people out. And some of these same people, hey, I like Tyson Fury, even though, you know, he has no punching power. And of course, they showed, you know, when he went to the UAE to fight, you know, outside of those two fights with Wilder and, you know, him beating Lillian White, that bum that he is. But the point I'm trying to make is, it's all about race, whether they want to acknowledge it or not.
And coach, my irritation is not with the other races. It's with black folks saying making those accusations about. And the reason what it has to do with Miller, Jarrell Miller knows Wilder very well. They can't stand each other. So he the
They used to be
main one.
friends.
Yeah, he's the main one talking crap about Wilder. And talking about he need to, you know, stay in the house, and you know what I mean, stay at the house and everything, talking shit. I saw that interview. Bro, you can't even get rid of a 2-year layoff Andy Ruiz, bro.
And that's another thing these fighters need to realize. Bro, you trying to appeal to the mother people. I'm going to be honest with you. If we going to say somebody like Chris Colbert, Man, you running around here with these sombreros on, bro. These Hispanic fight fans never gonna like your stupid self. You know what I'm saying? If
Mm-hmm.
anything, you should have been trying to appeal to the same fan base as Deontay Wilder, as opposed to trying to tick us off. And guess what? When you're back against the wall, guess what? You have somebody support you and rock with you. And man, you never gonna appeal to them people. You could wear a million sombreros if you want. Yeah, you never gonna appeal to that fan base. So man up, bro. At the end of the day, you need to rock with your own people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not anti nobody, but guess what? People ain't gonna never stop me from being pro black. I don't care what they say. You feel what I'm saying? So come on, man. Like it is what it is. And Jarrell Miller, he another product of that. You know, he trying to go at Wilder to appease them other folks. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what? When push came to shove, you try to cheat Anthony Joshua. Hey, you got your Negro wake up call. So at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie.
Facts.
You know, I don't have no sympathy for Big Baby Miller because at the end of the day, you look at him from a being in shape perspective. It's not like he's ever been a model of physical fitness. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Some fighters like I don't know, some fighters never gonna be. Even if you look at Andy Ruiz, he's never gonna be a super fit guy, and I understand that. But at the same token, when he was at the peak of his powers, he never completely came in shape in the best shape possible. You know, and it's not like he's skilled like on the level of somebody like James Toney who could get away with that. James Toney was more able to get away with that because James Toney was far more skilled than Jarrell Miller will ever be or ever was as a boxer. So at the end of the day, like, you know, you never put yourself in a situation to be in peak shape. You always using steroids, always juicing to the gills. And I'm not knocking the juicing aspect of it because, like I say, we see the double standard with Ryan Garcia. But the point I'm trying to make is, man, quit trying to accommodate them folks and appeal to them. You should appeal to your own people because that's who's gonna ride with you when stuff goes sideways. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts, man. That's facts, man. I don't think I have to say anything else. You said it, coach, man. I agree with you 100%.
And the last thing I'm gonna say about Jarrell Miller, didn't he lose the Triple D, the no heart Triple D?
Daniel
Danny
Dubois, yeah.
Dubois,
Mm-hmm.
Dubois,
Yeah.
case closed.
Well, I think
Wild,
he's coming off a long layoff too. You know, so
Wilder lost to
Who
technically
fought?
two top 10 heavyweights. That's the champion, former champion Joe. Well, yeah,
Joseph Parker.
former champion Joseph Parker, and Big Bang Zhang,
Zane.
Zili Zhang, who's climbing up the ranks.
Right. Yep.
Which I was against. I thought Wilder should have, because was coming off a layoff. He really ain't fight nobody. He knocked out Hellenius, but that wasn't really. He
That
didn't
was like
really get
no, bro. That was like that was a long time by that point because
exactly.
uh, so I mean he had a ridiculously long layoff, and I mean of course you know we addressed it the previous show from the perspective of you know we felt like even now like he should go on a bum bash at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man. Facts. He should have had um two tune-up fights, man, and then went into the Zangs, man. But that's what type of fighter Wilder is. He, you know,
Hey, I hope
it
Spence
is what it
learns.
is.
I hope Spence learns from the mistakes of Wilder from the standpoint of man, don't go gun hole in the 154 and without taking a couple light touches. You know,
Exactly. I agree, man.
you need a couple tune ups. You need some easy work. Don't just think you could just jump up there and fight. You know these elite level fighters at 154 because you know we saw how Buzz struggled last night against uh, you know Madrimov. So at the end of the day, you know, don't think you're just gonna jump in there with Sebastian Fundora and just go knock him out. Like, bro, you know, need a couple light touches before you take on a likes of the best junior middleweights in the world. You know,
That's so true, man. And Big Joe said, "Preach, coach," and salute to the sister Ravens Talk with Yolanda. She said, "Good afternoon. I'm late, but we'll watch it on replay." I appreciate you, sister. Yeah, I go support this sister, man. She's she's killing it, man. She's killing it. Especially if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan or just like football, please support this sister, man. Big Joe, what's up, man?
Yo, salute to the family. What's up with y'all, man?
What's going on, Big Joe? Peace and blessings to you, bro.
Big Joe.
Yo, salute family. Yeah, I'm over here cooking and whatnot. Y'all were cooking. I'm cooking. I had to slide in and see what y'all talking about. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. We just got finished talking about the Pitbull Cruz and El Royal fight, and then of course in the beginning we talked about Jared Anderson getting stopped by Martin Bacoli.
Mm-hmm.
So any
And we
feedback
just
on
finished,
those?
and we just finished talking about Big Dumb and Miller, you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, let me get on Blockhead Miller real quick. Hold on. Oh, 454 head Miller.
Yes, sir.
I ain't got no sympathy for Gerald Big Baby Miller. I ain't got no sympathy for him because he's a drug cheat. He's a loudmouth, insecure drug cheat. Now there's other drug cheats in boxing like Canelo Alvarez and we got Valdez, we got Ryan Garcia, we got Tyson Fury, but Gerald Miller is the same one that only talks shit about Deontay Wilder, he talks shit about other black fighters too. I have a huge problem as a former athlete with people who constantly take steroids. If you're constantly taking steroids, then you are an insecure athlete. You don't believe in your ability. It's funny how beforehand Joe Miller had all this high punching power, high output, over 100 punches around. Now all of a sudden you get off the soldier serum. Now you over here gasping for air and struggling against Gordita Crunch Andy Ruiz. You dig what I'm saying? So
Not Gordita Crunch.
oh yeah. He built like a Chipotle burrito. You know a Chipotle, they can roll them burritos now. A Chipotle, they roll them up into a big ball and say, "Here you go." You know what I mean? So and you struggling against Andy Ruiz, and he broke his hand during the fight. See, you big old Hulk gorilla, non-juiced up black man, you can knock out a wet Chipotle burrito rolled up doughboy looking Andy Ruiz. So that lets me further know you was more on the juice than you was an actual fighter. So I have no sympathy for him because he went on a 2-year suspension. He blew his biggest opportunity against AJ. If it wasn't for Gerald Miller popping dirty, there would be no Andy Ruiz. So, he blew his opportunity, still talking shit. You know what I mean? Pop dirty again, still talking shit, had to work for Floyd. I ain't gonna forget, he was over there hugged up with Eddie Hearn, laying all on his chest. Come on, Eddie. Come on, bring me back, man, please. I ain't forget that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I ain't forgot none of that. Looking like he ready to come home, master. Yeah, he wanted to fight Dillian White on the plantation. That's the fight he wanted. You dig what I'm saying? During COVID.
No, I
You know.
dig it.
So
Right.
yeah, no, I ain't got no love for Gerald Miller. He reaping what he sowed. All loudmouth dummies reap what they sow. So no sympathy for him. Now Jared Anderson.
Waiting on it.
I ain't gonna say too much crazy about him because obviously he's only 23, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, all that stuff is funny. He's a lost kid who's just following, who he's around. Most fighters, no matter, even though we look at certainly like a lot of these fighters to be leaders and they're ahead of their class or whatnot, a lot of these fighters are followers. You know what I mean? They follow each other, they have the same mentality, they kind of do silly shit. You know what I mean? So, he's just a young kid, a young misguided kid that's only doing what he knows. Obviously, with all the hating on Wilder, hating on Devin Haney, the Haney and the Wilder curse on you, boy. You bound to drizzle. You dig what I'm saying? So, shout out to Jared Anderson because he did fight George Foreman Jr. You know what I mean? Oh, heavy hand. See, y'all talking about earlier about folks not looking like they're in the best shape in the world. He don't look like too much. Boy, put some gloves on him. He start beating on your chest like King Kong. It's a wrap for you. You know what I mean? So shout out to all the chubby, heavy-handed, long-arm brothers like myself. You dig what I'm saying? I might not have a six-pack, but I got other stuff. But anyways, so um, in the words of 78, that still got further than my stomach. You dig what I'm saying? But anyways, uh, yeah, no, Jared Anderson, he went in there, man. The even though he was getting knocked down, he was getting toe up. He didn't quit. He could have stayed down like Ryan Garcia and bent the knee and got up on the 10th count. He kept getting up. The referee had to wave the fight off. I never gonna knock no man who kept on trying and you know what I mean and got hurt. So Jared Anderson got hurt. I can't take that from him. Everything else is everything else, but he took the fight, you know what I mean, because Big Turk got that paycheck. You know what I mean, Big Turk paid you before and after. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So he took the fight. And we saw that his skill set is just not where it needs to be at now. He needs to do some more work, fight some more tough competition. I believe Jared Anderson could be a good fighter if he wants to keep on boxing. He said he only wanted to fight till he's like 28 or something like that. He's already 24, 25, so he's almost done. But kudos to Bacoli. He took an opportunity and he showcased his talents on the world stage. This is going to lead him to have other fights. He going to have to fight. Somebody going to have to see Bacoli. Big Turk gonna make sure you're gonna get in the ring with Bacoli. The same way Wilder had to get in there with Zhilei Zhang, the same way the boys had to get in there with Zhang and whatnot. These guys gonna have to fight. Big Turk gonna make sure he gonna want to know where you at, you know. And Bacoli, you know, he bought himself definitely another payday. The same way that Big Turk like Gerald Miller and keep putting them on cards. Well, he wanted to keep putting Bacoli on cards because he's doing this thing. So shout out to Bacoli for winning. You know what I mean? Shout out to Gordita Crunch and Ruiz for winning. I think his best days are behind him for sure. You know, all the money got to him, eating got to him. There, you know, his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife exposed him for doing coke and falling all out and everything. You know what I mean? He living a cartel life out here. So, you know, Andy Ruiz is Andy Ruiz. Again, there will be no Andy Ruiz if 454 hit Miller didn't pop dirty because I was supposed to be his moment fighting AJ.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, hey, man. Other than that, shout out to Big Turk. He do a phenomenal card. Great matchmaking ability. You fighters can't hide no more, homie. You want to show and prove. You know, you say you want to fight somebody, Big Turk gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? You say, I want to fight. You know what? I want to fight Joe Joyce. Big Turk gonna knock on your door and say, hey, yo, I got 20 million for you. 10 now and 10 later. What you gonna do? So Big Turk he gonna find out who the hoes of boxing is. You dig what I'm saying? He gonna find out real quick. But you know what I mean?
A lot of exposing, bro.
Man,
hey, shout out to Big Turk though.
Man, Big Joe, you was cooking. And the only thing I feel like you left out when it came to Jarrell Miller, you was right about all those guys cheating, but Jarrell Miller, he don't have the complexion for the protection. He can't do all that cheating like these other boys and get away with it, you know.
Oh no, he definitely can't, but he don't need no protecting if you keep on being it. I ain't protecting no dummy now. Hey, you only got you pop dirty one time. Okay, I feel you. You pop dirty twice, and you gonna lay on Eddie Hearn's chest, and you gonna diss Wilder? Nah, homie, you on your own, dog. So hey,
I feel you on that.
Hey.
Man. Big Joe, what was your thoughts on the Jose Valenzuela fight, outboxing Isaac Cruz?
Be honest, my brother, I didn't see that fight, and I didn't see the Bud fight. After the Miller fight, I had some errands to do, so I missed both those fights. So I just only heard about it.
No problem, man. Basically, Jose Valenzuela, man. I thought he was gonna be chinny, but he did a great job outboxing Isaac Cruz, man, or Isaac Cruz, man. Yeah, man. He did a great job. That uppercut. Every time Isaac Cruz tried to keep jumping in, that uppercut was there all night. And shout out to Isaac Pitbull Cruz, man. He got a chin on him. But he did start coming on in the later rounds, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I went to the Earl Spence Ugas fight. So I saw him when he was on the undercard. He's definitely an exciting fighter. He's a come forward fighter. You know what I mean? He ain't got no back foot, no back foot. He gonna come forward. Either he gonna get outboxed or knocked out, or he gonna die. You know what they say? Get rich and die trying, or whatever. He gonna die swinging. So but it ain't too much else to him. If you can box, you can put a stiff jab in his face. He's beatable. He already done lost twice. What that thing now 3 times now. So he is who he is. He is not a mini Mike Tyson, not even close. So we gonna get that out
No,
the way.
it's funny. Me and Coach, everybody was just talk about that. Me, Coach, and JB, like, because
Them trying to push that narrative.
Mike
Yeah,
Tyson had
no,
a
yeah.
jab, and if you
And you
watch
know
that
how
shit
they do.
last night.
They take all of our black greats and compare them to everybody else. So, but
Speaking
you
of
know,
that, I gotta fit that in. Speaking of that,
uh
and
oh, uh
did y'all see that post
oh,
on social media
uh
when
oh,
somebody was trying to compare Caitlin Clark to
oh
Simone
Lord.
Biles?
Mm.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Oh, I
Talking
seen
about
it.
so Simone Biles is the Caitlin Clark of the
Mm-hmm.
Olympics of gymnastics, and
Mm-hmm.
I said they wish Caitlin Clark was as good in basketball as Simone Biles is good in gymnastics. Gymnastics. I almost when I don't know. Did you show us that in the group chat? I don't know who's. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Thanks.
me. Yeah, I dropped that in there.
Yeah, we was like, what was y'all thoughts on that, man? Starting with Big Joe.
Oh man, the guy who said it, he works for Barstool Sports. So they're kind of racist over there anyway. But that guy, he was just looking for attention. Not what it is now. We live in the clout chasing, say anything to get attention era. So he just threw that out there. Simone Biles is a hot topic. Simone, ain't nobody bringing up Caitlin Clark no more. That Caitlin Clark ain't playing right now. Everybody's talking about Simone Biles, talking about her hair, talking about her husband. You know what I mean? So she's controlling the Twitter streets right now. So of course, he threw Caitlin Clark out there because he needed attention. Everybody wanted to be, who's this guy talking about? Who said this? That's all it is. Don't nobody believe that. You know what I mean? She's the most decorated gymnast ever. She is so good. They had to create their own difficulties in scoring her. We have to change how we do because the things that she do, nobody else can do. You know what I mean? She's literally the Michael Jackson of gymnastics, the Michael Jordan of gymnastics. They had to create different criteria just to judge her. The things that she do, nobody else can do. She's in there with elite athletes, elite Olympians, people who deserve to be there. The people that they do hard, difficult shit as well. But the things that she do, nobody else can do, and they have to judge her difficulty on that. Caitlin Clark is nowhere near close to being in the same category as Simone Biles. Is she a phenomenal elite athlete? Yes, she is. Has she won anything? No, she's not. She ain't won no NCAA championships. As far as I know, Indiana Fever, I think they have a losing record.
Yeah, they
So,
did.
you
Fact,
know, so, all that sounds good, but again, it's just cloud chasing and somebody looking for attention. So that's all that is.
facts, man. Facts. JB, what was your thoughts on that idiotic comment?
Um, in the words of Jerry the Truth, from them barstool dudes who posted that, they need to drink bleach. Period. And Joe basically verified everything I wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? Caitlin Clark is a good athlete, good college player. She was the best college player for 1 year. Simone Biles been doing this for years, right? She's not even the best rookie in the WNBA. So, um, she will be a great scorer, maybe a great all star WNBA player one day. But let's not try to uh, compare her to Simone Biles and the Serena Williamses of the world, please.
Yeah, like 86 said, 86 Ghost said, he said one competition they penalized her cause because they said if someone else tried it, they might get hurt. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, Yolanda, I agree. There's no comparison at all. You know, and that's like one of a Honda Civic to be a Ferrari. There's no comparison at all. Um, Now we're moving on, fellas, to the main event. Um, Crawford versus Madrimov. And those who don't know, Crawford won by decision against Madrimov. It was a very competitive fight. There was a lot of feeling out as far as styles in the fight. A lot of the crowd was booing, but I was loving that. Anybody who was a true boxing fan, you may have to mute the TV because a lot of the commentating was biased. But um, even though Crawford had a very hard time trying to figure out Madrimov, uh, he eventually started piecing Madrimov off in the later rounds, and that would edge it toward Crawford. But I was impressed, man. Even this for Crawford's first fight at 154 against this type of fighter, damn good, man. Damn good. Um, I would recommend him fighting Canelo, but just stay at 154 and make your mark, bro. But congratulate. So this will be for four-time champion
Yeah, I think so.
from four division. So man, Crawford Terrence Bud Crawford from Omaha, Nebraska, keeps making history, man. And salute to Trill Will, man. He said salute to the family, man. We were just talking about you, man.
Salute, Will.
Salute, brother.
Salute, Will.
Good show, good content, man. If you haven't, please subscribe. This is one of the brothers who encouraged me to make him start my channel, man. So y'all salute, man.
Salute,
Y'all support.
salute to the Timu version of Kevin Hart. Shout out to Trill Will.
Y'all crazy. J Bar said if it wasn't for Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark wouldn't be there. She is in the WNBA stand. Where she is in the WNBA stand. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, four different weight classes. Yes, yeah. T. Bud Crawford's making history. But what are your thoughts, fellas, of this fight? Going with you, JB, first. What was your thoughts?
Everybody know I'm a big Earl Spence fan. Hurt my heart when Bud um beat my boy like that, but I've always admired and loved how Terrence Crawford fight. Um, watching the fight last night, um, I was kind of nervous because I didn't know as much as I should about the Israel dude, but all I know the brothers that's hardcore boxing fans was saying that he's very good. He's one of those Golovkin type dudes or Lomachenko type dudes where he has like 300, 400 amateur fights, but only has 10 professional fights. But he's really good, and I could see that in the first couple of rounds and the foot movements where Bud was trying to position himself to land shots, and Israel was making Crawford reset by his movement. I said, okay, this dude is experienced because
Yeah,
only an experienced fighter like that would know to do that to make Crawford reset, and that's why people was booing because they didn't know what the hell they were looking at. What you saw was two boxers playing chess, not checkers, but chess. Okay, and it was beautiful. And then you could see that Crawford started to figure him out probably around 7 through 12. Going, I think he stayed in one stance. I don't know. I forgot if it was Orthodox or um Southpaw. He stayed. I think he stayed Southpaw Orthodox, one of them, and then started landing body
Southpaw.
shots. Yeah, and then Israel started to slow down a little bit, and then that's when you saw Bud going to the top, landing combinations, and that edged them out. And the zone commentary is trash. They was sucking Israel off. So I said, I'm like, bro, I just mute the
Mute the
TV.
TV. Mute the damn TV. Yeah.
Because they was trying to give Israel rounds that he didn't win. You said he would land a good jab or overhand for time to time, but Terrence Crawford was consistent with the body shots and the combinations up top. So it was a good fight. Like you said, Jared, it was his first fight at 154, which is impressive. A type of fighter like that. So that means he's going to get better. He's going to get stronger. We've seen Terrence Crawford do this before every time he moved up. So congrats to Terrence Bud Crawford.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, Coach, I'm going with you. What was your thoughts on the fight?
Uh, I mean, to be real, I felt like Bud did a decent job in his debut at junior middleweight. But from my perspective, I think the thing that really kind of I felt like the one adjustment I felt like he could have made was honestly, I know he a switch hitter. From what I'm understanding, he's legitimately right-handed, kind of like Winky Wright was, even though he preferred to fight in the southpaw stance. I felt like the one adjustment he should have made was fighting more in an orthodox stance, because it seemed like when he went southpaw, Najimov was, he was ready for that, for him to, switch his stance from orthodox to southpaw, and that's when the straight right started coming. So to me, I felt like he had a decent performance. I felt like if he would have fought orthodox more, I think he'd have had more success. And truthfully speaking, Bud, I mean, he's clearly pound for pound the best fighter in the world without question. For these people that's trying to
Yes,
push him
sir.
out weight is asinine. It was the same way when they were saying Loma was pound for pound over Bud and Andre Ward, which was ridiculous to me. So, I don't buy into the whole Monster Anyway thing. Monster Anyway not even in my top 10, to be real with you. And I know some people are going to feel like that's blasphemous, but I'm keeping it true, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I felt like Bud, I felt like he did good under the circumstances, considering he moving up in weight. And truthfully speaking, I feel like Najimov, if he had to fight Sebastian Fundora last night, I think he would have beat Fundora.
I agree. I definitely agree. Big Joe, going with you. What was your opinion on the fight?
Well, like I said, I really didn't watch the fight. I missed it, but I did watch like all the replays that I could to kind of get a good grasp about the fight. And hey, as boxing fans, people don't know what they want. If you don't knock somebody out, you sorry. You knock somebody in the first round, you really ain't you fought a bum. You know what I mean? Or you box somebody out and you just outbox them, then um you ain't got no knockout power. So, but regarding Bud fought a tough opponent. He fought the tough opponent that he could fight at the moment. There was no Charlo available. I mean, there is no who else is there at 154 that he could fight? This was a number one ranked guy who had a belt. He fought the best guy. And a lot of folks looked over this guy because he only has 11 fights. Well, hell, Lomachenko got his first belt at like first title fight on the second fight. You know what I mean? So a lot of these guys with these extensive amateur backgrounds, they jumping into boxing, they getting straight to work. You know what I mean? They ain't got much time. You know what I mean? So they ain't got time to get 30 fights in and get a belt. They cracking all the way because they guys be in their 30s and whatnot. So he fought a tough opponent, and that's what happens. When you fight tough guys, you're gonna have a scrap like this. You're gonna get hit, they gonna get hit. Crawford was doing what he was doing. He was dogging them out. He has phenomenal punch placement. The other guy was getting his off too. But the guy ain't no hoe, so he was there all 12 rounds. So I believe Crawford fought a great fight. Um, is there some chinks in his armor? Absolutely, just like any fighter. Devin Haney ain't perfect, Tank ain't perfect, Shakur ain't perfect, but like I always say, who you have fought before, your competition, your resume is gonna come out in certain moments. And luckily, Bud has fought a lot of great fighters to the point to where this kind of guy,
Didn't
he can,
overwhelm him. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he can beat him because he's fought tough guys before. It's not like Jared Anderson when he fought Bacoli. That was his first real tough fight, and we saw what happened. Terrence Crawford is a game dog. He's been tested. So, he's going to have tough fights. And I'm glad he had a tough fight, because supposedly he wants to fight Canelo and he wants to fight Canelo next. This guy is literally just like a more athletic Canelo, except Canelo only fights in spurts, and Canelo got bad knees, so a lot of folks don't want to see Crawford fight Canelo. You know, I want to see Crawford do whatever he want to do. He know what he want to do. He has a goal. He wants to fight Canelo. You know what I mean? He wants to fight Canelo. Is it going to be at a disadvantage? Absolutely. Is he going to have to, go up 2 weight classes and gain a whole bunch of muscle and whatnot? Absolutely. But do I think he can beat Canelo? Absolutely, because Canelo is not the same Canelo. This ain't the same Canelo that fought Floyd Mayweather. This ain't the same Canelo, hell, that even fought Billy Joe Saunders. This is an older Canelo who ain't got much time left. And Terrence Crawford, he got enough dog in him, and he has a great team behind him and Bomac and everybody else to where they will study for Canelo just like they studied for Earl Spence for like 4 or 5 years. If anybody can beat Canelo right now and get the job done, it's they've been to beat this. I think it's Bud Crawford. So I want whatever he wants. So if he want to show Canelo that he ain't no hoe, I'm all for him. But great fight by Bud, great fight by Majamal. I think nobody else at 154 could beat Majamal besides Bud. So I think he gonna come back and he gonna get some more belts and he gonna keep making money and Turkey LSC gonna keep putting them on cards because he came to play. You know what I mean? And like they always say, he earned himself another paycheck. So shout out to both fighters.
Well said. Well said. I agree with what you said 100%. Um, anything else y'all want to say about this fight, Crawford versus Madrimov?
Nah, that's it for me.
The food is done. Yes, sir. Okay, moving on. All right, we gonna go to what the show, the main title of the show is about. Off your head, who will be
Hold on
your
one
top
second, bro, real
10?
quick. I'm sorry, bro. I forgot something. My bad, bro. I'm sorry.
No, you fine.
Don't y'all ever, Big Turk, don't you ever in your life and don't have a West Coast performer. Don't you ever do no shit like that. That's like having a fight in New York and you bringing a Texas rapper up there. Out of all the LA folks, you could have got Nipsey Hussle's crew all money. Jesus Christ. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, but I caught what you said. So those who didn't hear Big Joe,
Everybody
Eminem
always calling me when
performed.
I'm doing this. Anyways,
Now you go ahead.
let me see. Come on, man.
Eminem performed, and these venue was at
Yeah,
in
yeah,
California.
could have got all money in for Nipsey Hussle crew. They could have did their thing. You could have got he could.
You going in and out, Joe?
A West Side Connection with Ice Cube, Mac 10, and Dub C, but you gonna bring Eminem out there in LA.
Right.
Big Turk, your matchmaking is great, but whoever does your entertainment need to be fired. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, those who didn't know, Eminem performed last night before the fight, main event. Uh, yeah, I highly agree. Eminem cool and everything, but I'll since we in California, E40 somebody too short.
Hell,
But
I'll take Drew down.
facts 100. Um, but who will be your top 10 outside linebackers off your head? And here's my list. Okay, I got Lawrence Taylor. I got Junior Seau. I got Von Miller. I got Pat Swilling, Derek Thomas, Bobby Bell, Lance Briggs, Levante David, Carl Banks, and Derek Brooks. That's my list. And honorable mention, I got Julian Peterson.
That's a good ass list.
Yeah, that was a good list right there.
I just got one problem. Ain't no Ravens on there, but
Our
that's
best.
okay.
We our main thing is D line, and we had the greatest middle linebacker ever. And I like Jamie Sharper and Peter Bowell. They were very good Pro Bowls, but they were pieces though, pieces of our defense. But JB, what's your list looking like off the dome? And it don't have to be in order.
Like you said, Lawrence Taylor, Bobby Bell, Jack Hill, Terrell Suggs, Junior Seau. What's that? Five. Derek Brooks, um, Robert Brazil, um, I'm thinking. Lance Briggs, mm, Carl Banks, um, and Thomas Davis.
It's a good one.
How
Thomas
much
Davis
was
is strong.
that? Was that 10?
Yeah, you good.
Okay.
All right, Coach, what's your top? Who's your top 10 off your head?
Ooh, that's gonna be tough right there. All right, clear cut number one, definitely Lawrence Taylor. Two, Derek Thomas, and the next three slots coming from my Dome Patrol for those New Orleans Saints fans like myself back in the gap. Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling, Sam Mills. That's my top five. Now after that is a mix of like Ravens and Steelers, and it's hard. I could say Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, James Harrison, Joey Porter. The last spot is kind of tough. Come on, like people like Junior Seau and Terrell Suggs and Jack Ham and Derek Brooks and Kevin Green and Clay Matthews. Ooh, it's kind of hard for the last spot. But the last spot, I'm gonna get Derek Brooks.
Yeah, I was about to say you better give it to Derek Brooks.
Well, see, the issue we had with this list is the same issue we had in the past. When we talk about outside linebackers, you got outside linebackers that's pass rush specialists, like maybe like a Derek Thomas type. And then you got outside linebackers that play like in a 50 or like a 3-4 defense for the Steelers. You got people uh like Joey Porter and James Harrison. And then you got like legitimate outside linebackers. So it really depends on your scheme. So, that's what I'm saying. when we say outside linebackers, we could be talking about a 4-3 outside linebacker, or we could be talking
It
about
don't matter.
a 4 outside
Who would
linebacker.
you put on your list?
We could be talking about a pass rusher, or we could be talking about somebody that actually plays out in space. But that was my list, Like you said, it's your personal list, so I just kind of give you what I got.
Right.
Yeah, dig.
Like Brandon put Mike Singletary. I think him more of a middle linebacker.
Yeah, me too. I think, and you
But
got to realize.
he could have played outside though.
Well, you got to realize the Bears ran a 46 defense. So like you said, it could kind of go either or.
Yeah, Jack Tatum. Yeah, but Big Joe, who would you put on your list?
All right. Some of y'all might not agree with my list. Some of y'all might say this person shouldn't be there because of their position. Hey,
It
It's
don't
your
matter.
list, bro. It's
hey,
your list.
hey. So this is my list, and I got some honorable mentions. So of course, we got Lawrence Taylor. We got Derek Thomas. These are no order. I'm just writing them down. The third one, I'm gonna say Ray Lewis. Some of y'all might say he'll middle linebacker. I've heard Ray Lewis say, "Shit, I can play inside or outside." I've seen Ray Lewis I've seen Ray Lewis come off the edge. I've seen Ray Lewis go up the middle. I say Ray Lewis. I say Ray. I seen him get kicked out and Boulware be in the middle. So it really depends.
I'm not
I, s-
hating on it.
I say Junior Seau
I'm
for
not
sure.
mad at that.
Shout out to Junior Seau. Rest in peace. I got Mike Singletary. So I went to school with Mike Singletary's kids, and we had a conversation about football and whatnot. And he said, I'm not a middle linebacker. I'm a linebacker. He said I can do everything. So
Mm.
we talking about outside linebackers. I'm throwing Mike Singletary on the list. Another one I have is Patrick Willis. Another one. He can play
Yeah, I
anywhere
forgot
on the
about
linebacking core. He can come off the edge, up the middle. He can go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Shout out to him just getting the Hall of Fame. Another guy on the list, Bobby Wagner. He can play anywhere on the
Mm.
linebacking core. He can go up the middle. He can go around the side. He can do all that stuff. Whatever you need him to do, he can do it. Another one I got, Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly, yes, he can command the middle, but hell, I seen him play outside. I've seen him and Thomas Davis switch around. So I see he's just a guy he can play anywhere he's not just a middle linebacker. To me, somebody like that is like a Mike Dicker. Mike Dicker mainly played middle linebacker. Luke Kuechly, that's not him. Now somebody else on my list, James Harrison. You know, he played outside. He come off the edge. You know what I mean? His most famous play, Super Bowl, getting that pick interception for a touchdown. Charlie James Harrison, one of the strongest guys that ever played.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
Still strong now.
I,
Run up on James Harrison now if you want to.
Hey,
bro,
he,
Jay Harrison was a true outside linebacker. I still can't believe to this day we had him on the practice squad
Yeah,
and we couldn't.
yeah.
no, to me, his most famous play is knocking Joshua Cribbs silly, like in the next year. Boy, Cribbs
Oh
been
yeah,
there
yeah.
for a long time.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
said,
yeah. Oh yeah.
dropping this dude in coverage, man. Y'all trying to
Yeah.
hurt.
He's the original Debo. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. So all right, James Harrison. These two, I consider them both the same, so they both number 10. DeMarcus Ware and Terrell Suggs. I consider them both equal. That's just me. So, and then the honorable mentions, I got Kevin Green. You know what I mean? Another Hall of Fame player. He play outside linebacker and he can play DN. Another one I got is Navarro Bowman. Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis, they were a nasty combination for the Niners.
Yes,
And
Lord.
then the other one I have is Derek Brooks. And that's my list.
Beautiful list. Beautiful list. I am not hating on it. All right, y'all know how we do. We gonna shrink the list to, I'm gonna say 6. From all what you just picked, from your 10, you gonna
Only
shrink them
6?
down
Oh, that's
on
gonna be
only
oh
6.
Lord.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Hey, no, you can throw it my way first, bro. This is easy money for me. All right. One
All
Lawrence
right.
Taylor,
All right.
2 Derek Thomas, and then the other 3 members of Dawn Patrol. Ricky Jackson, Pat Swill, and Sam Mills. My top five. I don't even need a 6-1. You feel?
I hear you. I hear you. I go next. Lawrence Taylor, Junior Seau, Derek Thomas, Bobby Bell, Lance Briggs, and I got Carl Banks. That's my 6. JB, you go.
Uh, Lawrence Taylor, Terrell Suggs, Bobby Bell, Jack Ham, Junior Seau. Was that 5 or 6? Yeah, I think that was, and Derek Brooks.
Okay. Big Joe.
All right, of course I got LT, I got Derek Thomas, I got Sugar Ray, I got Mike Singletary, I got Patrick Willis. I need one more. Hmm. To me, it's between Luke Kuechly and Junior Seau. I'll say Junior Seau. It's my list.
All right. All right. Now we're going to shrink it down to 3. If you wanted to only take 3 linebackers with you from that 6, who would you take? Go ahead, go, coach.
All right. Of course, Lawrence Taylor and Derek Thomas 1 and 2. So they clear cut, hands down above everybody else. But if you said I gotta pick 3, I'm down with you. Those 2 head and shoulders above the rest. But I'm not gonna pick them 2. I'm gonna go Pat Swill and Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills, because as a Saints fan, I saw how much havoc these 3 together, along with move on. I'm thinking to myself, man, if you take these 3 off of the Saints defense at the time, the Saints defense was so trash. But like the NFL network, like top 10 defense all the time, they got them number 1. And in all actuality, like these 3 players carried that whole defense. So even though Lawrence Taylor and Derek Thomas, in my opinion, the 2 best outside linebackers all the time, I'm taking my 3 or 4 members of the Dome Patrol, you dig?
All right, JB, who you got? You just pick 3.
LT, Terrell Suggs, and Derek Brooks.
All right, Big Joe, who your 3?
Well, we all know LT and Derek Thomas. They're there. They're on the Mount Rushmore. So I'm gonna shake up the room a little bit and not put them on the Ray
All right.
Lewis, Ray Lewis, Patrick Willis, and Junior Seau.
Mm, that's a good 3. I'm gonna go Lawrence Taylor, Lance Briggs, and I'm gonna go ahead and go Von Miller. Those are my 3. All right. All right. Now out of that 3, you only pick 2.
All right. I'm gonna say, like I said, we know in my opinion, LT and Derek Thomas are 2 best outside linebackers of all time. But of my 3 members, 2 of the 3 members of the Dome Patrol, I'm gonna have to pick. I felt like Ricky Jackson was the most versatile of the 3. I felt like Pat Swilling, all he really could do was rush the passer. I felt like Sam Mills was better in space. So I'm gonna go with Ricky Jackson and Pat Swilling. Because Pat Swilling, I think in that time frame, I think a couple times he was NFL Defensive Player of the Year for the Saints. So I'm gonna go with Ricky Jackson and Pat Swilling.
All right, JB.
I'm gonna go LT and Terrell Suggs.
All right.
Again, LT and DT, that goes without saying. I got Ray Lewis and Patrick Willis.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to shake since everybody pick on Lawrence Taylor. I'm just gonna go I'm gonna go Von Miller and Lance Briggs. But like you said,
I
man,
gotta go back and watch Lance Briggs.
you had static coming. What you say?
I said I gotta go back and watch Lance Briggs.
Yeah, man, Lance Briggs was a dog, man. Like,
Oh hell yeah, he was a dog. Him and Urlacher together, yeah, they were balling.
He was a beast. I ain't gonna lie.
hey, says I ain't hear my name called, but I was leading. I was there leading the team in prayer. But yeah, man. I'm not mad. You had Ray Lewis and Mike Singletary because all them dudes could play the position. Outside linebacker, middle linebacker, don't matter. They could play it. But
Yeah, I know Jared and JB. I know Pat Swill and Ricky Jackson and Sam Mills. I know that's a little bit before y'all time. You know what I'm saying?
you know, I had Pat. I had Pat Swilling on my list on top 10. So I definitely um know about Pat Swilling, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that.
were dogs.
Yeah, he's a shady because he said he gave Lance Briggs crazy work. Yeah, that's when he was older, a little bit older. Yeah,
I mean,
but
just to think the Bears had Urlacher and Briggs together. I ain't gonna lie, both of them linebackers was fast. I wouldn't even lie, bro.
yeah, yeah, man. But we gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. Good show. Uh, hold on. Oh, I'm tripping, y'all. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Thank you. Somebody just reminded me. So, what did y'all think about before we get out of here? What did y'all think about the Hall of Fame nomination? Not nomination, but the ceremony yesterday.
I didn't even see it, bro. To keep it real. I mean, I had a little ripping and running to do. The only thing that really caught my eye news wise yesterday was Shakar Richardson winning the silver instead of the gold. But other than that, I didn't catch the Hall of Fame induction.
No problem. So just catch y'all up. Patrick Willis and Randy Gradishire, outside linebacker back from back in the day on that Orange Crush defense. Um, Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, and Steve McMichael all were inducted in the Hall of Fame. Uh, Now, congratulations to all those men. Um, uh, but my question, and I thought of this. Thank you, JB, for reminding me. But my question, all right, were there is there players out there, and is there players out there that should have deserved the Hall of Fame before some of these dudes? Like for example,
Mm,
Jimmy Smith.
mm,
No disrespect to, and you know how I feel about Devin Hester, but I feel like uh, Jimmy Smith should be in the Hall of Fame before
mm,
Devin Hester, and I believe Devin Hester deserve it. But how
mm.
Bro,
come
I,
Jimmy Smith ain't
I
in the
don't
Hall of
know,
Fame?
bro. I'm not gonna lie. Jimmy
Let's talk
Smith
about
is
it.
Jimmy
Uh,
Smith. Jimmy Smith is by far a better receiver than him. But as a return specialist, dude, Devin Hester was otherworldly. I don't know, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if you put him with the right head coach, because I mean the thing about him was he could get the once you get Devin Hester the ball in open space, he a house call waiting to happen. I feel like if you had the right coach that get him the ball out in space and know how to use him as a weapon, just imagine if Sean Payton would have had a weapon like a Devin Hester. Oh man. So I'm gonna be honest with you. You never know. If he did the right coach, maybe he could have been a Hall of Fame wide receiver once the Bears gave him the money. But I don't think they get a lot of you. So I don't know. That's a hard one there, bro. I mean, Devin Hester was otherworldly as a returner.
Okay, how about Hines Ward or Steve Smith Sr.?
Shit,
Lester Hayes. Go ahead.
my issue is, honestly, I feel like everybody on that list deserved to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see who you could take off to replace with anybody.
Yeah.
Again, Devin Hester is one of the best returners I ever lived. Special teams is a part of football. You know, now they changed the rule now to where they're going a little XFL style, but Devin Hester was that dude. Remember, a lot of times they didn't kick to him on purpose. I mean, you already don't kick it to him. You know, he was an advantage to where you automatically don't get the ball on the 20 automatically. You know what I mean? So, and they tried him out a wide receiver a little bit toward the end of his career. Same way with Deion Sanders. But yeah, Devin Hester was that dude. You know what I mean? So my issue is, I don't know. Is it was it Mick? Which one who's laid up there looking half dead? Who is that? Is that McMichael or is that Granishire?
Steve McMichael, unfortunately.
See, I don't know how they do the selection committee stuff. If you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, be in the Hall of Fame. Don't wait 20 years later, 25 years later. See, the man then played ball, handled his business. He can't even enjoy this shit. That man half dead over there and whatnot. I ain't like all that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If he deserved to be there, put him in there when he can enjoy it. Don't wait till folks is gone and folks is barely here on earth. Oh, you're in the Hall of Fame now. You know what I mean? Shout out to his wife for standing up for him and going to everything and holding up his gold jacket and whatnot. But he needs to be doing that. But they wait so long and push folks 20, 30 years out. And a lot of folks who've gone into the Hall of Fame, they ain't alive no more. You know what I mean? So I want players who have fought in the game, bust their ass, contributed to football, to the NFL. These guys are not participating. They're contributing to what this shield is supposed to be. They need to enjoy their moment. You know what I mean? Because these owners are enjoying their moment. These coaches are enjoying their moment. You think they're going to have Bill Belichick wait to get into the Hall of Fame? Absolutely not. So if you deserve to be there the first time, not the fifth time, not the 20th time, not like, well, you waited long enough, we're going to get you in now. And now you're going to wait, now you're going to make somebody else wait, like a Jimmy Smith or like a Steve Smith Jr. or,
Roger Craig.
like somebody like that. I mean, get them in there when they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? I hated that image, seeing him in the bed with the tube in his neck. I'm like, come on, man. I ain't like that shit. I ain't like that shit.
I was choking back tears, man. I hate seeing people struggle like that, man.
Yeah, the big facts, Joe. I'm not gonna lie. Man, Steve McMichael should have been in the NFL Hall of Fame, man. He was so dominant on that 85 Bears defense. And like you say, for them to wait when he got essentially 1 foot on the banana peel and 1 foot in the coffin, it's like, come on, man, you're doing this man a disservice.
Facts, man.
And we had this debate before. We had this, like, I think a year ago, and we talked about defensive tackles who was better than Steve McMichael on the Bears defense. And I think me and Coach went back and forth one time, and Coach schooled me how good Steve McMichael was, and I had to go back and watch tape. And that's what this show about. We just school each other, learn from each other. And Steve McMichael was a good defensive tackle. Me and Pops had to school me. But hey, man, Steve McMichael was a dog, But to Jared's point, hey, man, like Joe said, like Jimmy Smith, Steve Smith, and how about Fred Taylor? Fred Taylor been waiting a while.
Yeah.
Putting in work on them trash ass Jaguars team. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, there's a lot of people who deserve it, but like Coach, said, I wouldn't And Joe said I wouldn't, take nobody off the list.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, man. That's definitely true. Um, that's a good question. I'm not sure if he Vince McMahon allowed him in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure. I think so. I'm trying to.
He not. He
He's
not.
not. Okay. He was in WCW.
While everybody talking about Diddy and all that, Vince McMahon got some other problems.
Yeah, that's
No,
true. That's, but good conversation, fellas, man. But we gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. Great show, fellas. Thanks, Big Joe and Coach and JB for hopping on, chopping it up with me. I appreciate it, man. Y'all make sure y'all share, subscribe, hit my like button. Uh, Coach, let everybody know where they can meet you.
You can catch me here on YouTube at Coach 67 Sports TV, my YouTube channel. I primarily talk about HBCU football, primarily Southern University, SWAC football. And I just talked about a variety of different sports topics. Yesterday was episode 4 of the Coaches Show. So if you didn't catch the Coaches Show yesterday, I had a real brief show, only 15 minutes, where I talked about the current U.S. Olympic basketball team versus the Dream Team. For some reason, people like Paul Pierce and Colin Cowherd, they think this team could beat the Dream Team, which is ridiculous to me. It's asinine. And I talked about Wilder, piggybacking off our conversation from last week, like, what should be his career track if he's going to continue to fight. I said he should go on a bit of go on a bum bash and fight a bum a month. But, that was it for the Coaches Show yesterday. So catch me on YouTube. Appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us here on the Southern Baller Show and everybody that support us. Hopefully y'all have a
Yes,
blessed,
sir. Yes, sir.
phenomenal day, blessed, phenomenal weekend. We'll catch y'all whenever we get back, because next weekend is going to be the meet and greet. More than likely, we probably won't have a show next week, but
Yeah,
peace and blessings to y'all.
and let me say this, Coach, and thank you. Me and Coach have started another show for our HBCU family. Um, called it HBCU Fanatics. So no, we started going live. We had 2 shows already. Um, every Tuesday uh, at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So just, if you're interested in HBCU news, um, come check us out, man. But yes, indeed. Thank you, Coach. Big Joe, let everybody know where they can meet you and see you, brother.
You can catch me on all LDBC platforms like the one you're listening to right now, supporting all the brothers and sisters. Salute to the mighty LDBC. Everybody be safe and have fun at the meet and greet. And hey, y'all stay safe and stay dangerous.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And JB, thank you for always being there behind closed doors. Appreciate you, man. Any last words before we get out of here?
no, sir. Y'all be blessed.
All right, all right. Well, y'all have a blessed day. This was another installment of the Southern Baller Show. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday.